Colorado alum turns against Deion Sanders after Ice Cube practice stunt. This isn't how you fix losing. When Deion Sanders first took over at Colorado, he brought a new energy to Boulder that electrified not just the program, but the entire college football world. He became the face of a revolution, turning Colorado from an overlooked program into one of the most talked about teams in the nation. He brought swagger. He brought celebrities. He brought hope. But now, as the Buffaloes stumble through a rough start to their Big 12 campaign, the magic is starting to wear off, at least for some of the program's most loyal supporters. The latest spark of controversy? An Ice Cube practice appearance that some fans, and even former Colorado players, believe was the wrong move at the wrong time. The celebrity culture in Boulder. It's no secret that Deion Sanders loves to bring stars to Boulder. He believes that exposing his players to greatness, whether that comes from the NFL, the music industry, or beyond, helps inspire them to dream bigger. Last season, he even brought in the Navy SEALs to train his squad, a move that was widely praised. He invited rapper Lil Wayne to the black and gold spring game, turning what could have been just another practice scrimmage into a full-fledged event. And this year, as the Buffs prepare for a brutal stretch of Big 12 matchups, Coach Prime once again looked to boost morale by bringing in another cultural icon, Ice Cube. The legendary rapper's appearance on the practice field brought excitement and smiles. Social media lit up with videos of the hip-hop icon dapping up players, giving motivational words, and standing shoulder to shoulder with Sanders. But not everyone was impressed. Matt McChesney, from prime defender to prime critic. Few Colorado alumni have been as vocal in their support of Deion Sanders as Matt McChesney, a former Buffs offensive lineman and one of the most passionate advocates for the program. When Deion was criticized last year for allegedly requiring players to attend Lil Wayne's on-campus concert, McChesney came to his defense. "I don't think this is true," McChesney said at the time. "I think it's ridiculous, like I really doubt that Coach Prime would mandate that the entire team go see Lil Wayne. But why, if you have Lil Wayne on campus, why wouldn't you want to go see him?" But after Colorado's ugly 36-20 loss to the Houston Cougars, McChesney's tone has shifted dramatically. Speaking on his 0260 podcast, McChesney sounded fed up, not just with the performance on the field, but with what he sees as a culture that rewards players even when they lose. "It doesn't seem to me like they're very down and out, bro. They've got Ice Cube to practice. That's where you get congratulated with Ice Cube being at practice. Losing 36-20 on national TV? But hey, welcome Ice Cube to practice." The problem? Entertainment versus accountability. McChesney's frustration wasn't with Ice Cube himself. He made that clear. "And look, I love Ice Cube. I love NWA. This is awesome. I'm glad that he's in Boulder. But honestly, I'm sorry, but who gives ST?" he said, unfiltered. Then came the real sting. "So the team plays that bad, and their prize is not a really hard day of practice. Their prize is not gassers. Their prize isn't pushing sleds. Their prize isn't scrimmaging until we find somebody that wants to actually play a position and tackle someone. Their prize is more celebrities talking." In other words, McChesney believes that Deion is giving his players inspiration when what they really need is accountability. Shannon Sharpe adds fuel to the fire. McChesney isn't the only big name questioning Colorado right now. NFL Hall of Famer and longtime Deion supporter Shannon Sharpe also weighed in after the Buffs lost to Houston, and he didn't hold back either. Sharpe has been one of Coach Prime's most visible allies, frequently using his platform to defend the program and push back against critics. But after watching Colorado fall flat yet again, Sharpe admitted what many Buffs fans are thinking. This team isn't close to where it needs to be. "They thought they had it," Sharpe said bluntly. His comments cut deep because they came from a place of respect, the kind of tough love that only someone who truly wants to see Colorado succeed can deliver. Inside the locker room, players speak out. Even inside the locker room, frustration is mounting. Colorado tight end Zach Atkins broke his silence after the Houston loss, sharing a blunt assessment that went viral on X, formerly Twitter. "I'm not happy with how things are going right now. I'm a winner. "We need to turn it around," Atkins said. Those words may seem simple, but in the context of a struggling program, they speak volumes. When players themselves start publicly demanding better, it's a sign that the problems are not just external noise, they're being felt internally. Colorado's brutal reality check. After the loss to Houston, Colorado sits at 1-2, their worst start to a season under Deion Sanders. The offense, once expected to be a strength even after Shedeur Sanders' departure to the NFL, has been inconsistent at best. Ryan Staub, who flashed potential against Delaware, has struggled under pressure, throwing 2 costly fourth-quarter interceptions against Houston, including one on the very first play of the period. The defense, meanwhile, has looked like a sieve, unable to slow down even average opposing offenses. What was supposed to be a redemption season for Colorado is quickly turning into a nightmare. The fine line Deion Sanders must walk. Here's the heart of the debate. Is Deion's approach to motivation, celebrity appearances, positive vibes, and a focus on building belief the right strategy for a team that's losing? On one hand, Sanders has always been about more than football. He sees himself as a mentor, a life coach, a culture changer. Bringing Ice Cube to practice is classic Deion, an attempt to inject energy into the program and remind players of the bigger picture. On the other hand, football is a results-driven business, and right now the results aren't there. For alumni like McChesney, the time for inspiration is over. The time for punishment, hard practices, and no-nonsense accountability is now. What comes next for Colorado? Deion Sanders faces a pivotal stretch of games that could determine whether Colorado's season is salvageable or spirals out of control. If they respond to the Houston loss with urgency and improvement, the Ice Cube practice might go down as a brilliant move, a moment that bonded the team and reignited their competitive fire. If they continue to lose, however, critics will only get louder, and alumni like McChesney may not be the last to turn against Coach Prime's methods. The bottom line, Deion Sanders has changed Colorado football, that much is undeniable. But with change comes scrutiny, and right now the Buffs are under the microscope. Bringing Ice Cube to practice might have been intended as a morale booster, but for many, it symbolized something else. A program that doesn't seem to be taking its struggles seriously enough. Matt McChesney's comments have given voice to a growing frustration among fans, alumni, and even players. Now it's up to Coach Prime to prove that he can balance inspiration with accountability, and that his way of doing things will ultimately lead Colorado back to winning. Because if the losses keep piling up, even Prime's biggest believers might start asking the hardest question of all. Is the magic running out in Boulder?